my friends, I thought I would yap a little bit about the herb of the month and herb of the week and things I've been doing herbalism wise, etc. So the herb of the month is still Tulsi, and I have really been loving this herb, putting it into all kinds of concoctions of my choosing when it comes to tea. I haven't tried anything with it yet, like a bath, which is something one of the other students in the herbalism course recommended. But it's something I do want to try, a bath in general, and I'm going to try that today, actually. But I'm thinking I might do calendula or calendula. I don't know how to say it properly. I need to look that up. But I'm going to do that, and then I think maybe a little lavender, because I'm thinking of what I have in bulk. And the calendula, whatever, I've had it for a minute now. And I think it's probably time for me to, like, get some fresh, just because I know that they kind of lose their potency over time. If you've held them in a safe spot in the dark and in an airtight container, they might be good for longer. But I don't know, I just want to make sure that I'm kind of like refreshing some of the herbs that I've had for a minute that I can just, put to use. So what I plan to do there for a little bath is you could make a little sachet that you throw into the bathtub, but ideally it should honestly be like a paper size, so 8.5 by 11, like something big enough to where you can put a bunch of herbs in there. But I think what I'm going to do is just throw a bunch of herbs in a pot. I don't know if I want to bring it to a boil. I have to look and see, because some herbs, putting them in hot water but not too hot is a good idea. So I think I'm going to just, have it simmer, get some of those good vital oils and stuff into the water. I might cover it as well, just to make sure it all kind of stays in. And then once I have a nice big pot, I'll run a bath and throw that water in there, and that'll be my herbal bath. But otherwise, like I said, you could do like a kind of like a tea situation where you have something that it can kind of seep out of, like a little mesh bag or something that would be bath safe. Hopefully hopefully something that's not made out of what's that called, plastic or something, because I don't think you would want that in your bath. But I plan to do that. But with Tulsi, I've been putting it into all kinds of different concoctions, some with like red clover and ginger and nettle, which is something that during one of the clinics, one of the teachers recommended for me to do. The red clover helps to like take some of that puffiness, that extra moisture out. And then Tulsi is really nice and calming and stress relieving, and ginger is good for kind of boosting the digestion and such, which I feel like helps just move everything through, circulate everything really well. And then nettle has all that great vitamins and things, and it can be a little bit on the drying side too, which is good if you have a lot of dampness or moisture in the body. But getting too much could mean that you just get a little too dry, which is easy to fix. You can just throw some moistening herbs in there and you're good. But an herb that's been really piquing my interest is linden. So that's one that I really want to try. And then I think I discovered that this pine tree in my yard is actually a white pine. I'm going to post a picture in the group and just like double check and make sure. And I think I can check the needles actually and see if there are 2 to 5 needles in each little bunch on the branch. Then it's a white pine. And if so, I might make a little foot soak for my best friend for his birthday in that case, and throw some pine in there and some like cedary type scents. I have some essential oils that I can use for that. So I'm really excited to give that a try. I'm trying to think what else, but you can drink that pine as well. So I really want to make sure it's what I think it is before I start drinking it. But I also found echinacea in my garden, which I always knew I had just because my grandmother identified it, but I never knew. I knew there's some varieties, so I want to make sure. Water on my glasses, it's raining. I want to make sure because I don't ever want to take something that I shouldn't. I'll just have to sit there for a second. But anyway, so that's like my little plant discovery in the garden. But as far as like a herb of the week, last week I was working a lot with ginger, and I work with ginger all the time because I use it a lot in my food, and I make ginger tea. It's great for digestion, it's great for circulation, great for warming up the body if you need that sort of thing. And it can be relaxing at night. It can be a relaxant as well. So if you make some ginger tea in the evening, maybe with some lavender or chamomile, that can be really nice and relaxing. But so I worked with that a little bit last week, and then this week I was looking to cinnamon. So last night I ate some food that I made. I made curry chicken and like Jamaican steamed vegetables and curry chicken. Being Jamaican, I was really craving that, so I made it. And cabbage can definitely cause some bloating, some gas, things of that nature, because of the nature of the cabbage. So what I ended up doing was, after I ate my meal, I took some powdered cinnamon, put it into a little mason jar, poured some water in there, let it sit for about 20 to 30 minutes so that the cinnamon can really soak it in, because you can do cold infusions with cinnamon. You just have to let it, do its thing for a little bit, and then it'll kind of soak in that moisture. But all of the cinnamon kind of like sticks to the water in there, like a sticker or something, or like Velcro, and then it makes it easier to drink it and everything. But I noticed that really helped digestion, the bloating, the gas, whatever, after eating cabbage. And that was really cool, because I also wasn't at home, and I was like, oh, I know there's cinnamon here, so let me drop that in some water and see if that helps, because otherwise I might have chosen like ginger or something. But that's also a really good thing if you experience diarrhea or something. A little cinnamon capsule to get the powder straight through you is really good. But also, if you have ground cinnamon and you put it in some water, it's really good too. So yeah, highly recommend. Those are the things I've been doing herbalism wise lately. So this is like a little vlog, me chatting about all the herbal things and what I'm doing and what I'm experiencing and what I'm noticing and my little experiments. And I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, I'm excited. I've been loving Tulsi this month. Like I said, I threw it into a salad. That was really good. It added some great flavor. I made a sun tea with it. I've tried like a hot infusion. I've even tried like cold, just like using the herbs that I already steeped and then just adding cold water, setting it in the fridge and letting it steep like that, and it seemed to work. So I'm not sure. I have to see if Tulsi is an herb that really truly works that way, but it seemed to work enough. So I was like, okay. But I've been loving the pairings with different types of herbs, and I feel like Tulsi is truly so calming. And it's the first thing I ever even noticed about that herb when I first started using it and working with it. It is truly just very, very calming. And I feel like if I had a stressful day, like I had to take the cats to the vet the other day, and just getting them into their carriers is always so stressful. And my one cat is super athletic, and he's also young and very playful. So getting him into his carrier we literally had to exhaust him in order to get him to comply. So after that, it was a very stressful situation. I immediately came home afterwards, and I was like, I need some Tulsi in my life. I'm going to throw some lavender in there and some chamomile, all good things to relax you and calm you. And it's a world of a difference. And I've heard of people just speaking about how they've drank Tulsi every day for like a whole month, and they just were transformed as a person, just so much calmer. So yeah, I've been loving Tulsi. That's my little update about me working with the herbs so far. And I plan to, before the month is over, make a Materia Medica post on Patreon with my findings, just how it made me feel, maybe a recipe I liked, different things about the herb itself, what it's good for, even what chakra that it works with, because I find that to be very interesting. So yeah, that is that.